Millionaire businessman pretends to lose his entire fortune to test his daughter from his late wife and is shocked. Rain pounded against the bus windows as Carla Thompson clutched her 7-year-old son to her chest. Michael was burning up with fever, his cracked lips mumbling incoherent words. It was Wednesday, 3 in the morning, and County General Hospital was the only option for someone without health insurance. "Hang in there, my love," Carla whispered, wiping the sweat from the boy's forehead with the sleeve of her old jacket. In her pocket, $13.50. It was all that was left until her next paycheck as a house cleaner. The rent was overdue, the fridge empty, but none of that mattered now. The bus stopped 5 blocks short of the hospital. The driver, a middle-aged man with tired eyes, glanced in the rearview mirror. "End of the line, ma'am. Everyone off." "Please," Carla begged. "My son is really sick. Just 5 more blocks. Rules are rules. Get off. I got a schedule to keep." Carla stepped off into the rain, carrying Michael in her arms. The boy was heavy, but she couldn't stop. Her soaked feet slipped in the puddles, her thin body shivering from cold and exhaustion. She'd worked 16 hours that day, 3 different houses, and had barely eaten. "Mom," Michael groaned. "It hurts so bad." "We're almost there, son. Just a little longer." At the emergency room entrance, a massive line snaked through the lobby. People sitting on the floor, kids crying, elderly folks leaning against the walls. Carla rushed to the reception desk, where a clerk chewed gum while typing slowly on her computer. "Take a number and wait," the woman said without looking up. "My son has had a high fever for 2 days. He needs help now." The clerk finally glanced up, sizing Carla up from head to toe. Soaked clothes, holey sneakers, messy hair. "Everyone here thinks it's an emergency. Grab your number and sit." "But he..." "Next." Carla took the slip with number 47. The board showed they were calling 12. She sat on the cold floor, cradling Michael as he shook uncontrollably. Around her, glances of pity mixed with indifference. Here, everyone had their own tragedies. 3 hours later, when they finally called 47, Michael was unresponsive. Carla carried him to the exam room, nearly collapsing from exhaustion. The doctor who greeted her was in his early 40s, with graying temples and weary blue eyes. Dr. Ryan Montgomery, according to his badge. He looked at the child, and his expression shifted instantly. "How long has he been like this?" 2 days with high fever. It got much worse today. Ryan examined Michael with precise, quick movements. He checked temperature, pupils, heart rate. "Does he have any chronic conditions? Allergies?" "He's had a heart issue since he was little. Ventricular septal defect, that's what the doctors call it. He takes medication, but it ran out 3 weeks ago, and I haven't been able to refill it yet." The doctor paused, looking straight at Carla. "Why haven't you refilled the prescription?" She lowered her eyes, shame burning hotter than her son's fever. "Because I had to choose between the meds and food. I chose food." Ryan was silent for a few seconds. Then he resumed examining Michael, this time lifting the boy's shirt. That's when he saw it. A scar. Small but unmistakable, just below the ribs on the left side. The doctor's face paled, his hand trembling slightly as he touched the mark. "How did he get this scar?" "Oh, that was when he was a baby. He was about 6 months old. Fell out of the crib and hit a loose nail. It was pretty bad, needed stitches." "Which side did he sleep on in the crib?" Carla frowned, confused by the odd question. "The left side, always." "Why?" The doctor didn't answer. He grabbed the internal phone with shaky hands. "Nurse's station, prep a bed in pediatric ICU. Now, it's urgent." He hung up and turned to Carla. "He needs to be admitted. The infection is compromising his heart. But I can't afford it. This is through Medicaid emergency coverage. You won't pay a dime. I'll personally make sure he gets the best care." His voice sounded strange, laced with an emotion Carla couldn't place. 2 nurses arrived quickly, wheeling Michael away on a gurney. Carla tried to follow, but Ryan held her arm. "Ma'am, I need to ask you something. Please be honest." Is Michael your biological son? Carla's heart froze. Why are you asking that? Please, it's important. She hesitated, biting her lower lip. Then finally she shook her head. No, I found him. Ryan staggered, steadying himself on the desk. Found him where? On the steps of St. Francis Church 7 years ago. It was early morning. I was heading home from work. I heard crying, and there he was, wrapped in an old blanket, inside a cardboard box. Tears started streaming down Carla's face. There was a note saying his mom couldn't take care of him, begging someone to give him a good home. I picked him up and couldn't let go. I took him home. Did you register him as yours? I went to the police, filed a report, did everything by the book. No one came looking. After a while, I legally adopted him through the state system. I'm poor, doctor, but he's everything to me. Everything I have in this life. Ryan sank heavily into his chair, his face in his hands. When he looked up, his eyes were red. Where do you live? In the Hopeville projects. Why all these questions? Did Michael do something wrong? No, Ryan said, his voice cracking. He didn't do anything wrong. I'll check on him in the ICU. You can wait in the family lounge. Carla left, confused, her heart pounding. Something was very off. Could some coincidences be fated to uncover truths that change lives forever? Carla spent the night on a hard plastic chair in the waiting area. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't think of anything but Michael. At 6 a.m., a nurse came to tell her the boy had stabilized. Is he going to be okay? Dr. Ryan ordered a full battery of tests. He's handling the case personally, which is unusual. He usually only sees adults, but he insisted on overseeing your son. Carla hurried home just to shower and grab clean clothes. The rundown 2-room apartment in the projects was just as she'd left it. Messy, empty, cold. On the walls, Michael's drawings. In the fridge, hell. A loaf of stale bread and a pat of margarine. She glanced at the calendar. 8 days until she got her last $450 from cleaning houses. The lady she worked for had promised to pay, but she always delayed. Carla grabbed the coffee can hidden behind the stove. Her savings for Michael's second-grade graduation. $18. When she returned to the hospital, it was noon. Michael was awake, still pale but smiling weakly. And by his bedside, Dr. Ryan. Mom! Michael reached out his arms. Carla rushed over and hugged him, crying. My love, how are you feeling? Dr. Ryan is cool. He said, I'll get better. Ryan watched the scene with an unreadable expression. Can I talk to you outside? In the hallway, away from the boy's ears, the doctor took a deep breath. The tests confirm it. It's a severe bacterial infection attacking his already compromised heart. He'll need long-term treatment, expensive meds, constant follow-up. How long in the hospital? At least 2 weeks. Then about 6 months of controlled medications. He paused. Do you have any family who could help financially? Carla let out a bitter laugh. Doctor, I don't even have family. I grew up in foster care. Michael's the only family I've got. And his father? No father. Just me. It's always been that way. Ryan put his hands in his pockets, staring at the floor. Ms. Thompson, I need to. There's something I have to tell you, but I don't know how. Just then, an elegant woman appeared in the hallway. Perfectly coiffed blonde hair, designer clothes, expensive purse on her arm. She was in her mid-30s, pretty but with a hard face. Ryan, she called, annoyed. I've been calling you for hours. You forgot we have lunch with my parents. The doctor closed his eyes, clearly frustrated. Patricia, I'm working. Working. She looked around, taking in the public hospital, the peeling walls, the cheap disinfectant smell. I thought you only did private shifts on Wednesdays. What are you doing in this place? An emergency came up. Patricia glanced at Carla, appraising her head to toe with barely disguised contempt. I see. Well, your emergencies will have to wait. My parents are at the restaurant, and you know how Daddy gets when someone's late. I can't make it. What do you mean you can't make it? Her voice rose an octave. Ryan, we've been engaged for 3 years. You promised to prioritize our personal life. And I do. But right now there's a child who needs me. Patricia crossed her arms. There's always a child who needs you. Always an emergency. Always an excuse. She turned to Carla. You're probably taking advantage of his kindness. My fiancé has too soft a heart for people like you. Carla stepped back, stunned. I'm not taking advantage of anyone. I just want them to take care of my son. Your son who isn't even really yours, from what I overheard. Some abandoned kid you picked up off the street. Patricia. Ryan cut in sharply. Enough. No, Ryan. You need to hear this. These people, she pointed disdainfully at Carla, come to public ERs expecting doctors like you to fix problems they created themselves. If you can't afford to raise a kid, don't take someone else's off the street. Carla felt tears burning, but she wouldn't give this woman the satisfaction of seeing her cry. Michael was dying in a cardboard box. I saved him. I gave him everything I could. Everything you could? Patricia laughed cruelly. Look at you. You can barely afford decent clothes. You live in the projects. You clean houses for a living. That's everything you could give a child. It's more real love than a lot of rich folks give. Carla shot back, her voice trembling but steady. Patricia's face flushed red. How dare you? Patricia, leave. Now. Ryan's voice was icy, commanding. Go to the restaurant. Apologize to your parents, and I'll call you later. You're choosing this project dweller over your fiancé? I'm choosing to do my job, to be a doctor, to save a child. If that's a problem for you, maybe we need to rethink some things. Patricia's mouth fell open. Then, with a sharp motion, she yanked off her engagement ring and threw it on the floor. You know what? We really do need to rethink. Call me when you figure out what's more important, your savior complex or a real life with me. She stormed off, her heels clicking down the hall. Ryan stood still, staring at the ring on the floor. Carla bent down and picked it up, offering it to him. Doctor, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause trouble between you two. He took the ring, pocketing it absently. You didn't cause the trouble. It was already bad for a long time. He looked at Carla. She's wrong about you. Completely wrong. No, she's right about one thing. I'm poor. I don't have much to give Michael. But I swear to God I love that boy more than my own life. I know you do. Ryan swallowed hard. Ms. Thompson, I need to tell you something. Something that will change everything. But before he could continue, a nurse shouted from Michael's room. Dr. Ryan, quick. The boy's coding. They rushed in. The room turned to chaos. Doctors, nurses, machines beeping. Carla was pushed out, watching through the window as they tried to resuscitate her son. Michael, my baby, she screamed, pounding on the door. 5 minutes. 10. 15. Finally, Ryan emerged, his scrubs soaked with sweat. He's stabilized, but it's bad. Really bad. Carla collapsed to her knees in the hallway, sobbing. Ryan knelt beside her. Will he make it? I'll do everything I can to make sure he does. Everything. His voice carried an intensity beyond professionalism. But he'll need open-heart surgery. It's complex, expensive, and risky. How much? Through Medicaid, we might get it covered, but the wait list is months long. And he doesn't have months. Private. Around $120,000. Carla let out a sound that was half laugh, half sob. I couldn't save that in 10 lifetimes. Ryan gripped her shoulders, making her look at him. I'll pay for it. What? I'll cover the surgery. I'll bring in the best pediatric cardiothoracic surgeon in the country. I'll make sure Michael gets the absolute best. But why? Why would a doctor who barely knows us do this? Ryan opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. Tears glistened in his eyes. Because I do know you, Morth, and you realize, I don't understand. He pulled an old, faded photo from his pocket, edges worn. He handed it to Carla with trembling hands. In the picture, a younger man, clearly Ryan 20 years earlier, held a baby. A baby with a small birthmark on his neck, identical to Michael's. "That's my son," Ryan whispered. "My son that my ex-wife took away 7 years ago. My son she said she'd put up for adoption, but never told me to whom. My son I've searched for in every foster home, every shelter, every adoption record in the state." Carla looked at the photo, then at Ryan, then back at the photo. "You're saying that Michael is my biological son. That scar, it's from falling out of the crib, just like you said. Because he was my son. Because I was there when it happened." He sobbed. "And you saved him. You took my son when no one else would, and loved him like I never could." The hallway spun around Carla. Her legs buckled, and she had to lean on the wall. "You're going to take him away from me? How far would a father go to reclaim the son he lost? And how far would a mother fight to keep the son she saved?" Ryan took Carla's hands, squeezing them tightly. "No, I won't take him from you. I would never do that. But he's your blood, and you're his heart. You're the one who's been there for every fever, every nightmare, every first day of school. You're the one who worked herself to exhaustion to put food on his table. You're the one who loves him unconditionally." Ryan wiped his own tears. I just want the chance to know him, to be part of his life if you'll let me." Carla didn't know what to say, what to feel. Fear, relief, confusion, all swirling in an impossible storm. How could your ex-wife do that? Abandon her own child? Ryan's face twisted in pain. "Marina had issues, severe postpartum depression, addictions I didn't see coming. When I filed for divorce because of the drugs, she said she'd get revenge. A week later, she vanished with Michael. Left a note saying she'd put him up for adoption, that I'd never see my son again." He ran a hand through his hair. "I searched for years, spent every penny on private investigators, lawyers. Nothing. Until now. Michael knows he's adopted. I've always been honest with him about it. But how do we tell him? Carefully, with time. If you'll let me, we can do it together." In the days that followed, Michael improved gradually. Ryan spent every free hour at the hospital always bringing something. A toy, a book, chocolates. Carla watched the interactions between doctor and patient, seeing something beyond professionalism. She saw a father trying to make up for 7 lost years. One afternoon, while Michael napped, Ryan invited Carla for coffee in the hospital cafeteria. "I want to make you a proposal," he said, stirring his sugar nervously. "I'll pay for Michael's surgery as promised, but I also want to help you both afterward. I want him to have a better life. You don't have to do that. I do, not out of pity, but because he's my son. And because you've done more for him than I could ever repay. I don't want charity. It's not charity, it's responsibility." He hesitated. "And maybe we could be a family, the 3 of us." Carla choked on her coffee. "A family? You don't have to love me. I'm not asking for that. But we could live together, share the responsibilities for Michael. I have a big house, you wouldn't have to work 16 hours a day anymore. You could go back to school if you wanted. And Michael would have everything he needs." "That's crazy. It's practical. It's best for Michael." Carla shook her head. "I can't accept that. It wouldn't be right." "Why not?" "Because you have a fiancé. Because you barely know me. Because I'm a project kid with no education who doesn't fit in your world. Patricia and I are done for good. She had someone pick up her stuff from my place yesterday." Ryan leaned across the table. "And you're the bravest, most honorable woman I've ever met. You raised a child with a health issue alone, juggling 3 jobs, never gave up, never complained. You've got more class in your little finger than most people in my social circle. People will talk. Let them." Carla looked into his eyes, searching for lies, pity, anything to justify saying no. But she saw only sincerity. "I need to think about it." Of course, no pressure. But the pressure came from elsewhere. 2 days later, a woman showed up at the hospital. Gaunt, Deep dark circles under her eyes, dirty clothes, hair that had once been blonde now matted and dull. She approached the front desk, saying something Carla couldn't hear. The receptionist pointed toward the pediatric wing. The woman started walking, and that's when Carla recognized her. Not in person, but from the wedding photo Ryan had shown. A radiant smile next to him. "Marina." Carla stood quickly, blocking her path. "You're not getting near him." Marina stopped, looking her up and down. "Who are you?" "I'm Michael's mom." A hoarse laugh. "You? You're just a nanny who found a baby on the street. You abandoned him, left him in a box like trash. And he's still legally my son. My blood." Marina tried to push past, but Carla didn't budge. "Get out of my way before I call security." "Go ahead. They'll remove you when they learn you took an abandoned child." "I didn't abandon him. I placed him temporarily for adoption. And now I'm taking him back." "You're not taking anything." That's when Ryan appeared from his office. Seeing Marina, he went pale. "What are you doing here?" Marina turned, and for a moment, something flashed across her face. Regret, shame, maybe even love, but it faded fast. "I came to get my son. You gave him up 7 years ago, and now I've changed my mind." She pulled crumpled papers from a worn purse. "Look, birth certificate listing me as the mother. No legal record of me relinquishing custody. Technically, I just loaned him out." Ryan snatched the papers, scanning them quickly. His face grew even paler. "You can't be serious." "I am. I heard our son is sick, needs expensive surgery. I'm here to authorize treatment, as his legal mother." "You're here for money," Carla said, anger boiling over. "You found out Ryan can pay for the surgery and came running." Marina smiled, but it was a sad, defeated smile. "And if I am, we all do what we have to for survival. You should know that, living in the projects. I work honestly. You dumped a baby, and you took him knowing he had parents. Technically, it was kidnapping." Carla felt the world crumble. "I went to the police, filed a report. No one looked, because I was unavailable back then. But I'm better now, clean for 6 months." Marina showed a paper. "Rehab completion certificate from a clinic. I'm fit to care for my son." Ryan stepped forward. "Marina, please, don't do this. You don't really want Michael. You want money. How much? How much to leave us alone?" "Leave us?" Marina glanced between him and Carla. "Oh, I get it. You two are together now. How convenient. The rich doctor, the poor project mom, and the abandoned kid. Heartwarming story." "We're not together," Carla said. "But I love Michael more than you ever did." "Then prove it. Prove in court you have more right to him than me, his biological mother." Marina turned to Ryan. "I'm filing for custody, and you know I'll win. Biological moms always do. Unless the mom is proven unfit," Ryan retorted. "I'll bring every hospital record of your overdoses, every neglect report, every—" "There are no records. I expunged them. Deal with the DA when I completed rehab." She smiled triumphantly. "I'm clean on all fronts. To the law, I'm a mom who had troubles, got help, and now wants her son back." Carla's legs gave way. "You can't do this. Please. He's all I have." For a second, just a second, Marina seemed human. "And money is all I need. So here's my final offer. $100,000, and I'll sign over full parental rights termination. You keep Michael. I get enough cash to start over far from here." "That's extortion," Ryan said. "It's a friendly settlement. You have 48 hours to decide. After that, I go to court, and I guarantee the project mom here never sees our son again." Marina started to leave but paused. "Oh, and just to be clear, if you try to report me for this, I'll say you offered me money to disappear. My word against yours. Who do you think the judge will believe?" She walked out, leaving a heavy silence. Carla sank to the floor, sobbing. Ryan knelt beside her. "I'll pay." "You can't. It's too much money. It's the price of Michael's freedom, the price of your peace." I'll sell my condo if I have to, but I'll pay. She doesn't deserve a thing. She doesn't. But Michael deserves a real mom. And that mom is you. Carla looked at him through tears. Why are you doing this? Why are you so good to me? Ryan wiped her tears with his thumb, a surprisingly intimate gesture. Because when I look at you, I see what I should have been. A present father, a protector, someone willing to sacrifice everything for the ones they love. He smiled sadly. And because I'm starting to care about you. For real. Before Carla could respond, a nurse called. Dr. Ryan. Michael is asking for his mom. They rushed to the room. Michael was sitting up in bed, pale but smiling. Mom, Dr. Ryan, I dreamed it was my birthday and you two gave me a giant cake. Carla hugged him, laughing and crying at once. Your real birthday is coming soon, my love, and there will be cake. The biggest one we can get. Michael looked at Ryan. Are you coming to my birthday party, Dr. Ryan? Ryan sat on the bed's edge, holding the boy's small hand. I will. You bet I will. Cool. You're the coolest doctor ever. And you're the bravest kid I've ever known. Michael yawned. I'm sleepy again. Will you stay till I fall asleep? We will. Both of us. Carla and Ryan sat on either side of the bed, holding Michael's hands until he drifted off. And there, in that hospital room, looking at the child who bound them, something shifted between them. But outside, in the parking lot, Marina was on the phone. Yeah, he'll pay. I'm sure of it. And when he does, you get 60% for helping me find where the kid was. A pause. No, I'm not seeing the child. I don't want to get attached again. It's just business. What is the price of a child's happiness? And how much is the dignity of a mother willing to give everything for her son worth? The next 2 days were hell, paperwork, lawyers, tense negotiations. Ryan sold 2 investment properties and scraped together the $100,000. The meeting was set at a notary office, with attorneys from both sides present. Marina arrived on time with a man in a cheap suit who introduced himself as her lawyer. She looked different, hair washed, clean clothes, makeup hiding the marks of addiction. Got the money? Ryan slid an envelope across. Wire transfer. $100,000 in escrow. It'll release once you sign the parental rights termination. Marina took the papers, reading every line. Her lawyer reviewed them too, hunting for loopholes. Finally, he nodded. It's all good. Sign away. But Marina hesitated, the pen shaking in her hand. She looked at Carla. Can I see him? One last time. No, Carla said firmly. You lost that right when you put him in a cardboard box. Please, just a minute. From a distance. He doesn't have to see me. Ryan looked at Carla, who closed her eyes and nodded. 1 minute. From afar. They went to the hospital, to Michael's room. Through the window, they could see him drawing in bed, tongue poking out in concentration. Marina stood frozen, watching, silent tears rolling down her face. He's so big, she whispered. And so happy. He was never happy with me. I didn't know how to make him happy. Kids don't need much, Carla said softly. Just love, safety, and being there. You could have given that. No, couldn't. I was broken inside. Marina wiped her tears. But you gave him everything I couldn't. Thank you for saving him from me. Back at the notary, Marina signed without pause this time. Every form, every clause, every renunciation of the son she'd abandoned. When she finished, she sat for a moment, staring at her signature. Will he know? One day, will he know I gave him up twice? He'll know the truth, Ryan said. But he'll also know this was the most loving thing you could do for him. Marina nodded and stood. Before leaving, she turned to Carla. Take care of him. Love him. Be the mom I never could be. I always have been. I always will be. Marina left and Carla never saw her again. Michael's surgery was scheduled for the following week. The country's top medical team was assembled, Ryan overseeing every detail personally. The night before the procedure, Carla sat by Michael's bed, trying not to show her panic. Mom, will it hurt? No, love. You'll be asleep. When you wake up, it'll all be fine. What if I don't wake up? Carla's heart shattered. You will wake up. I won't let you go. Promise. Pinky promise? Pinky promise. She linked her pinky with his. Michael smiled, but then grew serious. Mom, can you tell me the truth? Is Dr. Ryan my real dad? Carla froze. How did you know? I'm not dumb. I heard you talking. And he has the same birthmark as me, in the same spot. Michael touched his neck. So it's true. Carla took a deep breath. Yes, he's your biological father. And you're still my mom? I'll always be your mom, no matter what. Cool. So now I have a dad and a mom, like a real family. He yawned. Are you gonna get married? What? No, it's not like that. Why not? You like each other. I can tell. Michael, it's complicated. Grown-ups always say it's complicated when they don't want to explain. He snuggled into his pillow. But I think it'd be awesome. You're the two people I love most in the world. Carla kissed his forehead. Sleep, my love. Tomorrow's a big day. Mom, I love you. I love you too. More than anything in this world. The surgery lasted 8 hours. Carla spent every minute in the hospital chapel, praying to a God she wasn't sure she believed in. Ryan scrubbed in personally with the team, his hands steady even as his heart raced. When they finally emerged from the OR, Ryan was exhausted but smiling. It was a success. He's in recovery. Carla collapsed into his arms, sobbing with relief. Ryan held her, his own eyes wet. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for saving him. We saved him. Together. Days later, when Michael was home, at Ryan's house, where Carla had agreed to stay temporarily for recovery, a new discovery rocked them again. Ryan's private investigator showed up with news on Marina. She hadn't used the money to start over. She'd paid off drug debts, and 3 days after signing the papers, she died of an overdose in a cheap motel. But that wasn't all. The investigator uncovered more. There's another child, a 5-year-old girl, Marina's daughter with another man. She's been in foster care for 2 years, since social services removed her from Marina's custody. Ryan paled. A sister. Michael has a sister. Carla processed it slowly. Where is she? St. Teresa's foster home. No relatives claimed her. She's been in the adoption pool for a year, but it's tough. Older kids rarely get adopted. Carla looked at Ryan. Ryan looked at Carla. They both thought the same thing. We have to get her, Carla said. 2 kids. Are you sure? I am. Michael deserves to know his sister, and she deserves a family. Ryan smiled, tired but genuine. Then let's go get our daughter. 2 weeks later, they introduced Michael to Sophia, a small girl, skinny with big scared eyes. She looked at Michael, then at Carla and Ryan. Are you gonna take me away? Carla knelt down. We want to, but only if you want. Will I have my own room? You will. And will I eat every day? Carla's eyes burned with tears. Every day. 3 meals and snacks. And, will you give me back if I'm bad? Ryan knelt beside Carla. Never. Once you're with us, it's forever. Sophia looked at Michael. And you? Do you want a sister? Michael grinned, extending his hand. Yeah, come on. I'll show you my toys. In the car, heading home with the 2 kids chattering excitedly in the back seat, Ryan took Carla's hand. I think Michael was right. We should get married. Carla looked at him, surprised. What? Marry me? Not out of duty, not for convenience, but because I'm in love with you, with the brave woman who saved my son, with the devoted mom who worked herself ragged for love, with the incredible person you are. Ryan, you barely know me. I know enough. I know what matters. He squeezed her hand. And if you don't love me yet, that's okay. I'll wait. I'll earn your love. But please, give me a chance. Carla looked at the kids in the back, then at the man beside her. The man who saved her son. The man who treated her with respect when others looked down. the man willing to wait for her love. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, I'll marry you." And for the first time in years, Carla Thompson felt like she belonged somewhere. Not in the projects, not in her cramped two-room apartment, but right there, in that car with those three people. Her family. Can true love arise from the most unlikely circumstances? And is family defined by blood or by choice? 6 months later, in a simple but touching ceremony, Carla and Ryan married. Michael, now fully recovered from surgery, was the ring bearer. Sophia, the flower girl, the girl who'd arrived scared and undernourished, now smiled openly, her eyes free of fear. The church was packed, not with socialites or Ryan's work colleagues, but with Carla's former cleaning clients, parents from the community center, neighbors from the old projects, everyday people who knew the true value of things. When the officiant asked if anyone objected to the marriage, a voice cut through the silence. "I object." Everyone turned. Patricia, Ryan's ex-fiancée, stood at the back of the church. She strode down the aisle, each step echoing in the stunned quiet. "Ryan, you're making the biggest mistake of your life, marrying a house cleaner. You'll regret it." Ryan looked at her calmly. "Patricia, you're right about one thing. If I didn't marry Carla, that would be the biggest mistake of my life." He took Carla's hand. "This woman taught me what true love is, what sacrifice means, what strength looks like, things you could never teach because you never knew them. You're throwing away your reputation. I'm building a family, and that's worth more than any reputation." Patricia glanced around at the disapproving faces. She hurried out, defeat clear in her slumped shoulders. The ceremony continued. When Ryan kissed the bride, Michael and Sophia cheered so loudly everyone laughed. At the reception, held in the garden of the family's new home, a spacious but cozy house, not the flashy mansion from before, Ryan gave a toast. 7 years ago, I lost my son. 6 months ago, I found him again. But I didn't just find Michael. I found an extraordinary woman who showed me wealth isn't measured in bank accounts. I found Sophia, a daughter my heart chose. I found a family. Carla stood beside him. 7 years ago, I found an abandoned baby and thought I was saving him. But the truth is, he saved me. Saved me from loneliness, emptiness, a purposeless life. And today, I find a partner who sees value where the world sees only poverty. Michael tugged his mom's sleeve. "Can I say something too?" Carla laughed. "Of course, love." The boy took the mic, standing on tiptoes. "I just want to say, I'm the luckiest kid in the world. I got the best mom, the best dad, and the best sister. And there's chocolate cake." Everyone laughed. "And I also want to thank my other mom, the one who went to heaven. Because if she hadn't left me in that box, I never would have found my real family. There wasn't a taught me true wealth isn't in what you have, but in who you are." Michael grew up and became a doctor like his dad. But he chose to work in public hospitals, in inner-city clinics where they needed him most. Sophia became an art teacher, helping underprivileged kids express their pain and dreams through painting. Hope, the youngest, pursued social work, dedicating her life to reuniting families torn by circumstance. And Ryan and Carla grew old together, surrounded by children, grandchildren, and hundreds of lives touched through the foundation. On the night Ryan turned 70, at a simple but love-filled party, he gave a final speech. "When I was young, I measured success by how much money I had, how much prestige, how much power, but I lost what mattered most, my son. And it was a humble woman, who had nothing but a huge heart, who gave it all back. She returned Michael to me, gave me Sophia, gave me hope, gave me purpose." His voice broke. "Carla Thompson, you took a broken man and made him better. For that, I'm eternally grateful." Carla, now with gray hair but eyes still bright, stood. "You talk like I did something special, but the truth is simple. I saw a child who needed love and gave love. I saw a man who needed family and built family. It's not heroism. It's humanity." Michael, now a grown man, hugged his parents. "You two are the heroes of my story, and I'll spend my life trying to be half of what you are." That night, after everyone left and the house was quiet, Carla and Ryan sat on the same porch swing where so many important talks happened. "Did you ever imagine?" Ryan asked. "What would have happened if I hadn't been on shift that night? If another doctor had seen Michael? I think God would have found another way to bring us together," Carla replied. "Some things are meant to be. Do you believe in fate? I believe in love, and I believe true love always finds a way." Ryan kissed his wife, a soft kiss full of history. "Then we're the lucky ones, because our love found the most improbable path. And the most beautiful," Carla added. They swung in silence, watching the stars, knowing they'd built something rare and precious. A family based not on blood or money, but on the conscious choice to love. And somewhere, perhaps Marina was watching, finally at PCE, knowing her greatest gift to her son wasn't the life she gave, but the life she allowed him by letting go. In the end, what defines a family, the ties of blood or the ties of the heart? And do the greatest riches in life cost exactly $0? Secondary characters and their fates. The rude hospital clerk was fired after Carla, now director of a hospital humanization program, implemented mandatory empathy and dignified care training. The bus driver who refused help that rainy night years later recognized Carla at a lecture on human dignity. He approached afterward, apologizing with tears in his eyes. Carla hugged him and said, "You taught me I never want to be like you were that night. Thank you for the lesson." Patricia married a wealthy businessman, got the comfortable life she always wanted, but never had children. In rare moments of honesty with herself, she admitted she might have let something real slip away. Carla's old neighbor in the projects, Mrs. Josephine, who often shared her scant resources in tough times, was hired as the family cook. She said the best bosses were those who knew what it was like to have nothing. Marina's lawyer, who facilitated the extortion, lost his license after Ryan presented evidence of unethical conduct. Last known record working as a paralegal. And the private investigator who found Sophia refused payment, saying, "Some things we do because they're right, not because they pay well." He became family, present at every birthday, every celebration, every milestone. Final epilogue. 30 years after that rainy night in the hospital, Michael was about to operate on an underprivileged child with the same heart condition he'd had. Before entering the OR, he looked at the photo he always carried. Himself as a baby in Carla's arms, both drenched from the rain at the hospital door. "Thank you, Mom," he whispered, "for saving me, for loving me, for showing me what really matters." And he went in to save another life, carrying on the legacy of love Carla started decades ago. Because in the end, the greatest wealth we can leave isn't money, isn't property, isn't fame. It's the love we gave. It's the lives we touched. It's the world we left a little better than we found it. And Carla Thompson, the house cleaner who became an educator, the mother who saved not one but 3 children, the woman who turned a successful doctor into a complete human being. She left the world infinitely better.